right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Celebrating America's birthday, St. Louisans meet a scaled-down fair.
Thunderstorm chances increase later Wednesday. Why a few of us may see another round of gusty winds.
Walking into tragedy.
We weren't going to wait around, stack the line. We need to go in and see if we can save these kids' life.
Tonight, an emotional St. Anne police chief sharing new details of the murders of a mother and her 2 children at the hands of her boyfriend. But first tonight, we continue to follow breaking news out of Jennings. That's where an hours-long police standoff is still going on. Good evening. I'm Brent Solomon. Mike and Ann have the night off. Family friends tell us it all started with a deadly shooting at a 4th of July cookout. Our Robert Townsend has been near the scene on Jendale Court all night. He joins us now with the very latest. Robert.
Hey there, Brent. You know, right now it is very loud out here in this Jennings neighborhood on this 4th of July night. People are illegally setting off all kinds of fireworks all around me, but that's not the reason why we are here. Take a look right here and you can see these bright red and blue lights flashing on these St. Louis County police cars for nearly 6 hours now. More than a dozen police officers have been out here in this neighborhood near Jendale Court and Cousins Avenue. Now, police say just after 4 this afternoon, a shots fired call went out. Officers got here, immediately put up yellow crime scene tape and blocked off the street that ends in a cul-de-sac. Now, investigators tell me they soon learned that a man shot 2 people outside on the street, then ran inside his home, where again he has been holed up for nearly 6 hours. SWAT team members you see are also here at this scene. A neighbor is sharing this video with 5 on Your Side this evening. Now, another woman, Rhonda Walton, says her 32-year-old daughter's father lives on Jendale Court. Walton tells me her daughter and other relatives were at her ex-husband's home for 4th of July celebration when the suspect, quote, approached them and repeatedly fired shots at them for no apparent reason. Walton says the suspect lives across the street from her ex-husband. She also says the suspect first shot her daughter's stepmom in her arm and then shot her daughter's cousin's boyfriend in his chest, killing him. Right now at this hour, we are still waiting for police to confirm Walton's claims.
It's very upsetting because they won't let me talk to my daughter, and I just need to be able to make sure she's okay, and her dad. Like, these are all my relatives.
And back here live at this scene in this Jennings neighborhood, you can see the standoff is still going on, and police tell me they are still trying to convince the suspect to come out peacefully. Of course, we're following this, and we'll have much more as it rolls on. Live in Jennings, I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
All right, Robert, we know you'll keep us posted. Let's take a live look now at downtown St. Louis. That's where the Fair St. Louis Fireworks Spectacular is well underway. A hot and humid 4th of July today, and tomorrow, Mother Nature could provide some fireworks of her own. That's why Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Cano is calling for a weather alert day.
That's right. For tomorrow, Brent, it is a weather alert day. It's going to be hot. It's going to be steamy, similar to today, where the heat index could top out around 100 degrees during the afternoon hours. But we also have the chance for thunderstorms that could be a bit on the strong side, at least in some spots. There's a look over downtown St. Louis as you're looking back from Forest Park towards the city. We had some scattered thunderstorms this afternoon into this evening. What was left, that last one just dying out before it can get to Park Hills. But you folks down south of St. Louis did get some decent rain today. We're tracking those storms across Iowa, southeastern portions of Nebraska, into northwest Missouri, and into northern Kansas. That area falls apart, but that was the leading edge of what we'll deal with as we head into tomorrow. Warm and muggy overnight, hot, humid with that storm chance tomorrow. And again, it's kind of a combination of the heat, humidity, and an approaching cold front with some energy with it. That means the potential for a few strong thunderstorms with wind being the main threat tomorrow. We'll get into the timing on it more in just a few minutes, Brent.
All right, Scott, thanks. Remember, you can get your Weather First forecast any time of day. If you text the word weather to 314-425-5355, we'll send it to your phone. Back out live to downtown St. Louis now for the Fireworks Spectacular. It's part of this year's scaled-down version of Fair St. Louis. Laura Bacheski found people still excited to celebrate the 4th downtown. She's live with a pretty good vantage point for the fireworks show. Hey there, Laura.
great view, Brent. And today, Fair St. Louis was really limited to 2 events, which was America's Birthday Parade and the spectacular fireworks over the arch, which got a bit of a late start today. And a lot of people I talked to, they're honestly hoping for more from Fair St. Louis next year. For many St. Louisans, the 4th of July always starts with America's Birthday Parade. It's a family tradition.
We came out to support the local St. Louis community, to support everyone in the parade, and to make sure to educate him and understand the significance of the birthday of America.
But this year, the family tradition changed. For many, after the parade, the streets weren't bustling with the sounds of Fair St. Louis like they were last year.
It's a little bit of a bummer. It was. Last year, it was awesome to get to experience that, get our kids out there, have some fun, eat some corn dogs, all that good stuff. So definitely a little smaller this year, but we adjust, right?
So the Estes family adjusted, spending time together at Ballpark Village, which filled the live music hole Fair St. Louis left behind. That was DJ Deb's favorite part of Fair St. Louis.
We had, some of the top entertainers. I got to meet them, talk to them, see them in the limo, see them to go to the hotel they were at. And so music is #1 with me.
While it wasn't what they were expecting, the change didn't stop them from getting to the heart of their family tradition.
Spending time. It's our annual mother-daughter trip week, so it's just spending time with each other.
One of the things that stayed the same is the 3,600-pound fireworks show, which for kids young and old is the best part.
We park at the top of a parking garage. We're right there at the top. About 9 o'clock, we go, wind down, get our spot set, and just kick off the 4th the right way and check them right over the arch.
And what will never change is the reason we celebrate.
People take their freedom for granted until you get locked up in a prison cell or a jail cell, or like you're a little bird. Would that be fine, or would you rather fly free? I like flying free. So freedom means everything to me.
Fair St. Louis says the reason they scaled back this year is to make it bigger and better for next year with community collaboration. I hope you have a happy 4th of July. Reporting live from downtown St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
And the same to you, Laura. Right now, many of you are hearing fireworks and neighbors are setting off. You can see some of them being set off from our roof cam. Remember, it is illegal to set off fireworks in St. Louis City and County, as well as in St. Peters and in Illinois. You can have fireworks in Franklin, Jefferson, and St. Charles counties, but those come with restrictions. Tonight, we're learning more about a tragic shooting in St. Anne. A woman and 2 of her children are dead. Police say that the mother's boyfriend killed them. Investigators say the couple was arguing at the home on Jane Avenue before the shooting. The St. Anne police chief and an officer found the mother dead in the garage. Her 14-year-old son's body was in the kitchen next to the boyfriend, who was still alive at the time from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. An emotional St. Anne police chief describing what he saw next.
In the living room, there was a 5-year-old juvenile with a gunshot to her head. She had a pulse, so another officer and I, he picked the child up. We rushed her out to the ambulance.
Sadly, that 5-year-old girl later died. A 9-year-old girl who ran for help is recovering tonight after being shot in the hand. 34-year-old Coleman Mickelvain also died at the hospital. We found he had a long record with kidnapping, assault, and DWI charges. Tonight, the major case squad investigating the shooting death of a 10-year-old boy in the Metro East. Someone shot him as he was standing outside his home last night on Roosevelt Avenue in Belleville. Anyone with information should contact the major case squad at 618-825-5200. 2 high-profile Illinois Republicans will face off in a primary race for Congress next March. For tonight's announcement, Mark Maxwell traveled to the town of Xenia, which is about 2 hours east of St. Louis.
The fight for Southern Illinois kicked off as a slugfest right out of the starting blocks. 5-term Congressman Mike Boss will face a primary challenge from Darren Bailey.
My fellow patriots.
Roughly 300 supporters showed up on Independence Day to hear Darren Bailey announce his political ambitions
For United States Congress.
Bailey framed himself as an outsider, challenging D.C. insiders who cozy up to lobbyists in the swamp.
We must fight back and reject the weak-kneed politicians who refuse to stand up and fight.
Mike Bost is a Marine veteran. Do you really think he has weak knees?
I commend Mr. Boss for his service, and I thank anyone who serves in our military. But sometimes then coming in and filling a role in government as a representative, I think is two completely different things.
The Boss campaign called it a shame that Darren Bailey is willing to divide conservatives. But that wasn't selling on the farm.
Well, Darren is the conservative. He's proven that time and time again. Mike Bost, from what I've seen, votes with the Democrats about half the time, and we don't like that.
Team Bost said Bailey is putting selfish opportunism and personal ambition ahead of the interest of Southern Illinois conservatives.
I guess I'm sorry that he chose to start this kind of rhetoric this early. We're going to find out if Southern Illinois thinks Mike Bost has been fighting for them hard enough.
How do you like your congressman?
Bost? I have known the man for years. I've lived in Southern Illinois my whole life. He's a good man. He's a good man. He's not a bad man. I believe in Darren Bailey, and I will be voting for Darren Bailey.
Reporting in Xenia, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.